Hi guys, long time no see. Actually, at this point, I don't know that we're all guys. I think we might be mostly girls, with one guy. Anyway, I hope you all are doing well and that you like my tree. And that you're also getting excited about the approach of the semester's end, which is really, really close. We only have a couple of weeks left, so hang tight. Just about everybody in the class is passing at this point, or can pass, I should say that, barring any missing work. Please remember my late work policy, which is that it is crazy for me to accept late work in the last week of class, so I don't. Not for better than 50% credit. So if you want better than 50% credit, then you're going to have to submit your late work before the next to last week or before the last week. So that's going to be next week. So for the real reason I'm here, which is to say hi again after a long absence, to apologize for the long absence, and to give you guys just a few notes on what I'm noticing about your rough drafts for writing project 4. I can only go over some things because I want you to actually watch the video, so I can't make it too long. So here we go. Firstly, I wanted to let you all know my progress on grading and commenting on the rough draft of writing project 4. Because this is the last writing project and because it's worth so much, I wanted to make sure that I give you all your money's worth in terms of your comments and grades. Um, so as of Thursday night around 9 p.m., so that was about 46 minutes ago at this point, I have 3 left to grade. I hope very much to get them all graded this evening. If at some point, though, I notice that I'm getting way too tired, I'm passing out, it's actually bad for me to keep grading, so at that point I will refrain from continuing to grade it and will continue tomorrow morning. So I expect to have everyone's done tomorrow morning. Expect yours then, if not before. It's slow going over here. The last writing project usually is. Okay. I don't have that much to say about the drafts themselves. Like I said, I'm trying to make the video short, but also, by and large, I think they're pretty good, actually. I've tried to think about what I could tell you all that would apply to the majority of you, and then here's what I've come up with. All of you guys have argumentative topics, which is awesome. You'd be surprised. A lot of my students write argumentative papers, don't have an argument. A few of you guys, though, do need to work on what I call the scope of your paper. When I say scope, I'm referring to where your paper is headed, the direction it's going in, what it's trying to cover. For anyone who has chosen too broad of a topic, you are most likely running into this problem where you're trying to take on too much, and as such, you're giving yourself too much to talk about. So you've got to narrow down. If I've made this comment in your paper, please know that this is a major issue. It is something that, could affect your paper by a letter grade or more, so you got to work on that. If I didn't say anything about it in your paper, you're okay. All right, if I didn't say narrow down, you're fine. If you're unsure of how to fix this problem, please get in touch. A couple of you guys have in the past. Definitely continue to do that. I will probably offer to make a phone call to you because some things are really difficult to explain in writing, or I've been commenting so much that my fingers are exhausted, and I'd rather just talk on the phone about something and get the job done that way. Okay, so be open to that suggestion if you would. One of the things I found myself commenting on the most is organization. On the paragraph level, that is to say, with respect to the sentences in your paragraphs, you all are mostly okay. Just about everybody, though, had at least one paragraph whose sentences could use some reorganization. As for holistic, overall organization, just about everybody could use some reordering. Remember that the start of the paper is the only place where you need to be laying out any groundwork. Definitions of terms, overall benefits of something, overall drawbacks of something, history, context, all of that goes into the beginning, near, or part of the intro. The middle should be reserved for your claims. That is your reasons you have established in support of your thesis. I'll say more about those in a minute, but for now, I'll keep going. So the middle is claims. The end of your paper is really where I see most counter arguments working best, just before the conclusion, unless you have counter arguments built into the structure throughout your paper, where you go argument, counter argument, argument, counter argument, like that. I don't think anybody in the class is doing that. When thinking about the most logical way to order a paragraph or to order the paper itself, you want to think about generally moving from general to specific. That is the most logical organization you could do, um, in any respect in any paper. Um, so you're moving from broad to narrow. So cover general benefits or like a less impressive benefit before you cover the big one. Um, you can also think in degrees if you're trying to organize something. Like I want to go for like soft to boom, good to bad, bad to good, better to worse, worse to better, something like that. This is true for individual paragraphs as much as it is for papers themselves. Okay, back to your main points, which I said I'd get back to. Every claim paragraph that is reason paragraph, which most of your body paragraphs need to be, every claim paragraph needs to have a main point that supports the thesis. Check all of your paragraphs like you're checking a string of lights. Does every single paragraph have a main point? Are there any paragraphs in which the main point needs to be clearer or stronger, or more closely connected to the thesis? Are there any in which you lose the thread of the main point? You want to look for things like that and then tweak as needed. Big thing here, remember that everything you do in this paper must be done in the service of your thesis. Your background info in the intro exists to help you give a proper context for your thesis so your readers will get on board with you. The main points in the paper bolster the thesis. The research you present has to support the main points that support the thesis. Some of you guys at times lose sight of the specific thing you, in a way, promised you'd discuss in the intro that you talk about and keep defending. But then at some point you stop doing that. You stop defending your thesis. You drop part of it, or you don't connect strongly enough to your thesis somewhere in a body paragraph. Again, like a string of lights, and not just because it's the holiday season, you got to check every single one, every single paragraph. Next to lastly, you all have to get ridiculously serious about your citation, like as serious as I am about it, if you haven't already. You can get lax with a typo or organization or explanation or a main point. But one place you can never ever get lax is with citation. The lack of citation is plagiarism, even if you don't mean it. It's plagiarism. So I cannot call myself a good and responsible instructor if I do not stress to you the importance of fighting tooth and nail to avoid plagiarism. If I feel, or if you feel, rather, that I am speaking directly to one or two of you because there's been a case of plagiarism in your paper, believe me, I'd have left the same message before any of you could have been accused of it. I promise I'm not speaking to anybody specifically. I am speaking to all of you directly, because anyone who gets tired enough can plagiarize accidentally. The lack of citation is plagiarism. You can imagine you're weary, it's the end of your paper, you're like, ugh, let's just get it done, and then you don't put the citation in. It's plagiarism. Okay, so for the Ivy Tech degree to continue to mean something, I have to continue to be very serious about this, which means I cannot pass final drafts of argumentative papers, the last papers, that are plagiarized. I can't and I won't. So please be serious about it. I don't want to fail papers. It's not my thing. Okay. Also, sloppy citation is not as bad as a lack of citation, right? Being sloppy is not plagiarism. Not nearly. But it still looks like you don't care, which looks like you don't want a good grade, or at least not the best one you can get. So please be careful. Get really serious about when and how you cite. A few rules to help you guys out with this for the future as well as for this paper. One, when you do a paper, do your works cited first. I should have mentioned this a long time ago. Doing the works cited first like gives you this feeling of accomplishment, and then it's not something you do last minute and it sucks. 2, cite as you go. As you write the paper, when you put in a source, put in a citation. Stop what you're doing and add it. If you don't work in this way, you're going to plagiarize one of these days. You're just going to do it. Okay, so I can guarantee that, so be careful. 3, just like you shouldn't go to the grocery store when you're hungry, you shouldn't proofread when you're tired. Finish drafting on a Sunday, proofread on a Monday. Finish drafting on a Tuesday, proofread on a Thursday. Don't finish your draft and proofread in the same day if you can avoid it. Okay? Okay. Lastly, I promise. Other frequent comments that I'm leaving with you all have to do, mostly with specificity of language. Be careful with words like it, this, they, and that. They take the place of ideas, and often when they're taking place of the ideas, they're actually not doing anything. They're not describing anything. Be careful also with abstract nouns or nouns that aren't as specific as others. They need explanations after them. Benefits of, factors of. So I'm thinking of some examples. Benefits, factors, issues, people, things, situations make me ask as a critical reader. Benefits of what? Factors of what? Issues, what kind of issues? What people? What things? What situations? Right? These are nouns, all right, but they're not descriptive. So look carefully in your papers at places where you have a lot of abstract nouns and where I'm pushing you to explain your ideas further. I promise you that in pushing you, I'm pushing you towards stronger writing, or I wouldn't leave the comment. If I wrote an alternate word or phrase that you could use, please know that that is like my gift to you if you choose to accept it. If you like a word or phrase that I suggested you substitute, take it. It's yours. And, if you don't know what it means, learn what it means, and then, use it forever in your papers. That's it, you guys. I plan to leave one more video with you before the semester is up, just to congratulate you on the finish and to thank you for your hard work. I know this class is a proper ass whooping, if ever there was one. Please take a moment, like a little moment, to congratulate yourselves before forging ahead, even if you haven't performed exactly as you'd hoped you would. Even if you're behind in the work and you have some catching up to do. Still, congratulate yourselves on your work ethic so far, and then push ahead to do everything you can in the time given. All right, until soon, you all. Good to see you again in a way. Best of luck.